Frustrated Deion Sanders accuses son Shiloh of stealing after dodging truth to avoid gifting new car. I don't have to look out and be a father as well during the games to make sure this one is right. And this one is right. This was Deion Sanders speculating about his two sons, Shiloh and Shadur, as they prepare for the NFL draft. This season, the longtime stint of Coach Prime's mentorship will end, and it won't be too pretty for us normal folks. The Buffs head coach will still do wonders with the team. But, apart from Shiloh and Shadur, he also won't have players like the incredible two-way star Travis Hunter and his close pupil Jimmy Horn Jr., who managed to clock a 4.4 in the 40-yard dash. What will Coach Prime's life look like then? Deion Sanders is undoubtedly a one-of-a-kind head coach in college football right now. He brings that swagger to the program with his raw and unfiltered take on everything. This is a coach who doesn't just recruit players, but builds long-term relationships with players. So much so that he supports them thick and thin with all his heart. Just ask Jimmy Horn Jr., and you will know. Not only did Coach Prime help the wide receiver through his father's incarceration, but also acted as a father figure amidst all that. While that aspect of Coach Prime will undoubtedly stay put at Colorado, since the head coach just last month signed an extension valued at $54 million that will see him at Colorado till 2029. Still, there will be something that we are going to miss next season, as neither Shiloh nor Shadur will be there at Colorado's camp. That thing is the unfiltered banter and trash talk they have, especially Shiloh with their father, as we get to see the father-son bond on the sidelines and even in interviews. Take this recent example for context. In a recent interview, Shiloh and Coach Prime were seen bantering on a similar note, as Coach Prime jokingly accused Shiloh of stealing his belongings. As the interview was going on, Coach Prime noticed Shiloh wearing his pants, which he left at the office. "These are my pants you got on." Shiloh wasn't going to take that lightly, as he gave back a befitting reply and remarked on Coach Prime's cleanliness. "Why are you wearing shoes on your pants? Why are you wearing shoes on your own carpet?" Well, that's where Coach Prime turned ugly on Shiloh, as he remarked, "I don't understand. They come in here and steal my stuff out of my office, and I know my stuff. Those are my pants. He knows I know them. My pants, you know." Who could argue with Coach Prime's reasoning, since he clearly knew the pants that Shiloh was actually wearing? Shiloh Sanders' father provides a consolation instead of a brand new car. Well, the love between Shiloh and his father, Deion Sanders, is no secret. But that doesn't mean Coach Prime doesn't don the role of a strict coach when necessary. Just recently, the Buffs head coach set a target of 4.4 seconds for Shiloh in the Pro Day's 40-yard dash. At the end of the challenge was the promise of a brand new car. Shiloh did quite decently for his safety, position, and finished with 4.52 seconds on his first attempt and 4.59 seconds on his second. However, the timekeeping on that day brewed controversy of its own. Well, Shiloh's acts on a pro day and failure to capitalize on his new car have seen his locker room rattled. Many of his teammates trolled the safety of not achieving the feat. One of the players remarked, "He's gonna text his dad like, 'I know I ain't do it, but I was close. You want to send me a shaking head emoji.'" While another player said, "Don't give me a T-Rex from 2025, give me one from 2022, Dad, 'cause I missed it by 0.2 seconds. But what did Coach Prime have to say about Shiloh's timing? Gee. But Shiloh again teased his father a little more with another revelation. "I come here and take showers occasionally. It's the comfort of Coach Prime's office. You can take your clothes off and go boo-boo here, lock the door, and play some music." Well, the banter gets more and funnier as the duo outmatch each other with their brutal takes. This is what we will be missing when Shiloh departs and when Shadur departs. However, there will still be players providing those father-son-like moments with Coach Prime. Since he is the only coach in CFB who may allow that, Shiloh Sanders' father provides a consolation instead of a brand new car. Well, the love between Shiloh and his father, Deion Sanders, is no secret. But that doesn't mean Coach Prime doesn't don the role of a strict coach when necessary. Just recently, the Buffs head coach set a target of 4.4 seconds for Shiloh in the Pro Day's 40-yard dash. At the end of the challenge was the promise of a brand new car. Shiloh did quite decently for his safety, position, and finished with 4.52 seconds on his first attempt and 4.59 seconds on his second. However, the timekeeping on that day brewed controversy of its own. Well, Shiloh's acts on a pro day and failure to capitalize on his new car have Shedeur Sanders receives strong message from sister Deiondra as Coach Prime's son publicly moves on from Saints. Just 5 days ago, Shedeur Sanders had his much-anticipated pro day in Boulder, Colorado. Since he chose not to throw at the combine, all eyes were focused on the former Buffs QB1's performance on this special day. And he didn't disappoint. Mid-range, dimes, long passes, Shedeur brought it all. In some sense, it was necessary to remind the naysayers that his high draft prospects are not because he is Deion Sanders' son. It's because he has performed exceptionally well in college football, especially during challenging and crucial moments. Post the pro day, Shedeur posted pictures of himself throwing in front of the scouts on his Instagram. The second picture is of his brother Shiloh Sanders and him walking down the field, talking about something. The next one is of Shedeur alone, beaming happily at the camera after a tiring workout. But what is the point of these pictures? Or the act of describing them? Well, of all the pictures mentioned above, there is a picture of Shedeur Sanders posing stylishly with his $300,000 Mercedes-Maybach S680. What could have been the point of posting a single picture like this, along with 4 other pictures of his pro day workout? This wasn't merely a routine action, but rather a declaration to the media and scouts that the QB is confident in his own identity. He hadn't felt shy earlier about flaunting his luxury watches or his NLL money. This is how Shedeur Sanders gets by. This is who Shedeur Sanders is. Shedeur Sanders is talented, classy, stylish, and never shy about making a statement. This was a warning sign to those arrogant bogey scouts and coaches that Shedeur Sanders isn't going to change himself. He will be true to the man he is. In a recent interview, Shedeur Sanders' sister, Deiondra Sanders, was asked about the quarterback's potential NFL team. She didn't care about the team that would draft her. I don't really have a team. I'm just so proud of him for the way he works hard and his work ethic. It's like he's done this thing right. You always have my dad to lead you, but you gotta want it as well for sure. So he's done this thing right. So I'm just proud of him, whatever team he goes to. I just want him to go where he would like to go. That's the best fit for him, and I'm just proud of him. It doesn't matter where he goes. The Sanders household is a close-knit unit. They support each other in public whenever they get the chance to. Be it Pilar Sanders supporting Shiloh after a poor performance last year or Deion Sanders stepping up for Deiondra amid the latter's ongoing issues with her fiancé, time and again, we see a household built on mutual support. So, it's no surprise that Deiondra's priority is for Shedeur to be happy. Where would he be happy? We don't know yet. What we do know is that Shedeur Sanders has everything to be a top pick in the upcoming NFL draft. The qualities? The ability to throw quite accurately, as the QB finished with the 3rd highest accuracy rate in college football. He shows a great understanding of the defensive setup, and his ability to find a receiver in tight coverage is quite exceptional. Shedeur Sanders has the talent to execute accurate deep throws despite the tag that his arm is weak. Sanders' 94.8 PFF grade, which is ranked 4th in the draft class on deep throws, 20 yards plus, is a testament to his ability to execute those deep balls. All in all, the QB has incredible talent, but despite this, his draft stock seems to be falling. Brother but urged Shedeur to stay true to himself and go wherever he wants. Shedeur Sanders moves on from the New Orleans Saints. Several teams were touted for drafting Shedeur Sanders. First was the New York Giants, then the Tennessee Titans, and recently, the New Orleans Saints, with their 9th pick, were expected to rope in the QB services. So much so that Deion Sanders, when asked about the Saints and Shedeur possibility, said, "I like their colors, I like the city, I like the food, I like the people, I like the possibility." Naturally, Shedeur would have also been ready to move to the Saints. However, now it seems Shedeur has finally moved on from the Saints. Quite recently, the player came after spending time with the Pittsburgh Steelers and was asked about it on Kay Adams' podcast. Sanders was quite optimistic about his visit, as he said, "I enjoyed my time in Pittsburgh. I connected well with all the coaches, and it was really fun." The former Buffs QB also had praise for the Steelers' head coach, Mike Tomlin, and compared him to his dad, Deion Sanders. "I understand the mindset and why Pittsburgh, win a lot. Just how Tomlin is as a person, the values that the team has, and what he preaches is similar to my dad. The decision to move on from the Saints and finally make the Steelers his priority may be because Jackson Dart is increasingly becoming a favorite for the Saints.